Call the meeting to order then. Bob, are you here?
Bob Seaver's here.
Chris, I'm here. Rob's not here today. We've got a quorum. You looked at the minutes
Yes, sir.
and motion to approve.
Yes, sir.
All second?
Aye.
All in favor, aye. Motion carried. All right.
You're up.
We've got a annual assessor's abstract report.
I took it down and hand delivered it to them on June the 9th, and I kinda handed you out a paper that kinda summarizes. For the most part, the county, this is just tentatively right now because we don't have public service in yet, which won't be till later, like the end of July, August, you know. But without public service, the county is at $35,296,127.
You say up?
Up
Okay, run that by again.
$35,296,197.
Okay, now does that, you say you don't have public service in that?
That's not counting any public service.
Which,
So,
will OG&E's new
all of
line hit us
those-
this time? They
all
were
of
on-
that should be in there, but it's gonna depend on how many of these other companies can finagle away to get out of, because of that new law they passed
Yeah.
about intangibles. I don't know how many are going to be able to get out of, say it's intangible, you know, and not have to pay. So, but all of the rest, you know, OG, all of that should be,
That'll be the first year OG&E transmission line's been on, because they turned power, I think, on in October of last year.
okay.
So,
Yeah, so we'll
well,
just have,
a year, it's been a year.
yeah, and
That'll be
they
the-
haven't
that
done
should
any
be-
of that yet, so I don't know. Until they get public service, I'll figure it, I don't have any kind of idea.
Is excuse me, is
Mhm.
public service a term used to describe several different utilities?
Mhm.
Okay.
It's the ones that are done through the state. Tax Commission takes care of all that, it's not done locally. So it's all of those kind, like railroads, the electric companies, you know, some of those kind of things, so.
We're up 35.2 million excluding
Mhm.
public service.
And even if we lost all public service, we figured this out, we would still be up $8,743,000. Even if we lost every penny from public service, which isn't gonna happen.
Right.
So, but we'd still be up, so that's a good thing.
Public service includes properties that go beyond our border at the state, in the state, that run through our county, that the state, basically takes their figures and says,
Mhm.
you know, this is a portion that goes through yours. But it's not accurate as though our assessor would go out and say, this is the border and this is what you got on our properties. So we have no way of knowing, but, you know, you basically just take their word for
We
it.
just have to take the numbers that the state gives us
And does the state just take their numbers?
Probably. I'm gonna,
Can't tell ya.
I'm gonna guess. That's off the record. I'm gonna say yes, that's probably,
guess that too. Why hire somebody else to do it?
yeah. But that would,
Spend some
in-
money, you have
that would include railroads and interstate pipelines and telephones. The OG&E transmission line should be the first in this tax period here, and which ought to be pretty major,
I hope so.
yeah. I mean, that's what they sold us when they went through it and said, we want a piece of your ground.
Mhm.
We will see.
We'll see what
Yeah.
happens, yeah. So, anyway, that's the long and
Okay.
short of it right there. But then, to kind of break it down, personal property, the assessed values were 129,700,000.
Is that up?
And it's up 32.7 million. And real estate is up 2.5 million. And then the total so far, like I said, is 35 million that we are at this year.
I know there's an obvious explanation, or I'm just not that bright. How can personal property have a greater value than real estate?
All of like the oil and gas companies, for example, if it's leased land, we still get to assess their personal property that they have on that leased land. So it may be ag land, you know, that a farmer's field out there, they may lease part of it to put stuff on there, you know, that kind of thing. But where the ground isn't valued as high, and then they've got all their stuff out there, we get that too. Anything they have on there, so we can assess that.
Good
so.
explanation.
Well,
So,
you have more questions,
if my
keep
land is
asking
worth,
me.
if my land is worth 100,000 and I got 3 oil wells on there, personal property would be,
Well, yeah, and all these companies coming in, you know, like the new gas plants or anything like that, their personal property is going to be big. So,
where is this new gas plant? And I don't mean to deviate from the topic, but you talk about OG&E transmission line and the new gas plant I've heard about, and being the new guy, I'm not savvy with that. These are big deals for Woods County, I take it.
Yeah.
Big deals.
They're south and east of Avar. There's 2 of them that are pretty good size there. One of them major size.
Cause you drive past the transmission line every day.
Yeah, you drive under it.
That was OG&E.
That goes across all the county. It basically starts in at, west of Winoka and Woodward County, and comes through and drops off at Madison Lodge, which is on the other side of Hartman.
Well, I have a factoid about that transmission line y'all may or may not know. The company that got the contract to build that 47, 48 miles of transmission line also built Dallas Cowboys Stadium. And that was his first transmission line contract he got. And I know that because I got rental property, I had guys staying with me for 9 months here in town. Just thought I'd share a little. I know something.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch them put that wire up with the helicopters?
No,
Oh, that was
personally, I
interesting.
saw a video of it.
Well,
Wow.
that was something.
That was
I could
interesting.
not believe those guys. I told one guy, I said, I don't think I want your job.
Oh, I wouldn't want that.
Mm-mm.
Helicopters are more dangerous anyway, and then you
Yeah, getting up there by them wires.
tons of weight underneath it with wind.
And then a guy hanging out there on that basket. I was like, oh my, that was
Yeah.
scary.
Did they go through your land?
Yeah. Yeah, part of that, personal property is also the oil leases that are, you know, have been throughout the last couple of years. And these farmers going in and buying new tractors. That's part of it, cause,
That's true.
you know, everybody says, I'm tired of the umbrella and the air conditioner, I'm gonna update. And that's a pretty good sized part of that too, I'm
They
pretty
get it.
sure.
Yeah, they get a good chunk of change from the oil companies. They
And then we're not giving it to Obama, so what are we gonna do with it?
Exactly.
That's, I mean, you can't put it on interest, it's not worth anything.
Yeah.
Buy green and blue paint,
Yeah.
that's what amounts to.
No red?
Dealers are a long ways on red. Kinda. Anyway, well, that's pretty good. How about homestead exemptions?
Homesteads were down 15, and double homesteads were down 5. So I really don't know why.
Less people in the country,
Yeah, just
I mean,
What's the
whether
double?
a double homestead is like for someone that makes under $20,000 a year, they can apply for a double homestead and get an extra exemption besides their.
How much is extra exemption? How much is a homestead exemption?
Homestead
500?
exemption is $1,000, is what we take off on the assessed value. And then if they make under 20,000 a year, they bring in all their documentation and we fill out the paperwork. And if they qualify, they can get an additional homestead.
Why would somebody, me, only be getting 500? Oh, never mind, I know.
Okay.
I know the answer.
Okay.
There's a little sister in Texas that owns the other half.
Oh, yeah, that would be
That's
fine.
why,
Yeah.
yep.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yep.
Get her to sell you her part.
Well, I pay all the taxes. I don't know that she's getting the benefit from it. I need to look into that.
You need to check on that.
For purposes of this, is there some waiver she could sign? No, okay.
As long as her name's on the deed, on the property. Yeah.
Okay, this probably doesn't need to be recorded
Anyway.
topic.
You know, I don't know, and like on some of these, there could be people that have passed away, and so there's, you know, we take off the homestead, and
Yeah,
I really don't know, why it would necessarily be down. And maybe some people have bought new property and just haven't come in yet and done the paperwork to get it for next year, cause there's so much changing hands. But pretty much, for the most part, the realtors are doing a really good job of telling someone when they buy a house, be sure and come in and see us and get homesteaded, so, that kind of thing. So,
what else do we have here?
that's pretty much all I had to tell you, so.
Okay. Well, we're growing, that won't continue at that
No.
rate, I mean, that's
No, it
pretty
won't.
good, but,
Yeah, we did good this year. In fact, when Jerry called me with task, he told me we had 269 new wells drilled in Woods County this year. So,
Wow.
us and Alphaba County were the highest in the state.
have you ever found out how they, do the gross production tax distribution?
No, but I do go to school, to a conference in August, and
Ask
hopefully
them.
somebody can tell me something,
We need to know how,
because that's a statewide school that everybody's required to go to,
yeah,
and everybody should be there, so.
well, if, you know, how they make that distribution of where the production is located, whether it's a county boundary or a district boundary or a northwest area. How do they determine where the production comes from that they're taxing and rebating it back to the, you know, where's it go? How much does the state get? And ultimately, how much do we end up getting?
Right.
I think that'll solve some problems right there, you know. Okay,
So,
that sounds good. Bob, you got any questions? You're kinda new at this deal, but it's nice to be up on evaluation. It's a sign we're growing.
35 million, well, that's 20%. Well, it's more than
What is our
20%.
total county evaluation?
That's huge.
I mean,
What's our total county evaluation?
181, 182 million. That's up
you
huge.
don't wanna know what we're up, you want to know what the total was,
Well,
right?
you told me what
Okay,
we're up, so
okay.
I was trying to
Okay.
figure out what percentage.
208,523,326.
Does that include the 35 million you're up?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's 20%, that's 25%.
But it will
That's
change,
huge
just so you
increase.
guys understand, it's gonna change.
When
This
public service
isn't
comes in, it
final,
will change.
this is just,
Estimate?
Or-
it's
Yeah,
an estimate,
estimate.
yes.
Mhm.
Because it will change whenever we find out the numbers for public service.
And that would go up, wouldn't
It will go up, yeah.
We hope, but
You never know.
you never know. When they
Public
passed that
service.
law about the intangibles, things have started coming down on some of the public service, so I don't know.
I think we have to approve that homestead,
Okay,
because it says approval.
okay.
That's how we did it for Monica, so I bet we have to
I
approve
make
that.
a motion that we approve the,
Homestead exemption
Homestead
and
exemption.
additional exemptions. That number that you gave us of, 15 with,
Right, we were down 15, and the additional homesteads, we were down 5.
Is that 15%?
No, just 15, count,
Number 15.
51?
the count, just 15 homesteads.
Oh, the people who
Mhm,
applied for it,
mhm.
oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll second your motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Okay, we also put on record, we acknowledge her report on the assessor's
Yes.
thing. Okay. What else do we have here? New business or anything that's?
Can't do new
Can
business
you tell
on
us you're not gonna have any
special.
meeting now between here and January or July?
July, I hope not. but I'm not
Yeah,
gonna-
you don't wanna end this, do you? I mean, or we wanting to wait before we,
Cause you still got some
I've got,
things pending.
2 companies that still, their last protest date is the
Right,
first of
I don't
July,
have it on
so
the
I
agenda, so
really
we
don't,
can't do that.
yeah, I think, I just would feel safer not.
Yeah, we can't end the
Just-
session,
yeah.
I didn't put it on the agenda,
You
'cause
can't
I
what?
knew we had that. We can't end the session, the equalization session, excuse me, yet, because for one thing, I don't have it on the agenda, and then the reason I didn't put it on the agenda is because she still has some companies
I
out.
still have 2
But-
that still have protest time.
Hopefully, we
we've
won't have
settled,
anything.
But you just never know, somebody might wake up one morning and say, hey, I don't like these numbers, and they still have time to protest, so.
July first.
Mhm.
Okay.
So,
So hopefully we won't have anything before our next meeting
I
in
hope
July
not.
15th, so.
so,
Anything else? Your motion then to adjourn?
I second it.
No.
Did you make a motion or say you
made the
needed a motion?
You made the motion, I'll second.
Okay, I make a motion to adjourn.
We gotta have a motion before we can second.
All right.